Hello everybody, this is Shirley with So Too We Begin Embroidery. Thank you for stopping by, checking out my video. If you have not subscribed, please do. Hit the notification bell, and if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. And for those that have subscribed, thanks for coming back and continue to watch my videos. I am very appreciative of all of the support that I get from everybody that has subscribed and those that have not. Thank you so much. Today, I'm going to go back in time. I was reviewing some of my older videos. I started doing this about 2 years ago and ended up taking several months off, and now I've come back. So I decided to look at some of the older videos just to see what people are looking at because they're still being viewed. And I ran across one of them that I realized probably needs to be updated. So what I'm going to do today is take us back to the basics of My Design Center. My Design Center is a software component of the PR1055X, the PR1050, and several other multi-needle machines, Brother multi-needle machines, as well as several single needle Brother machines. It is there so you can create your own designs. There's so many things that you can do. It's really heavy on quilting, but you don't necessarily have to use the designs just for quilting. You can use the design for pillows and shirts and any other thing that you may be doing, because using the design center has so many different capabilities. So learning about it is really important. So what I'm going to do today, I'm breaking down the information that I'm providing in several lessons. And this is lesson 1. I don't know exactly how many lessons it will be. It probably will be 4 or 5 at least. But I do know that there are several more that are to come because there's so much to do and to like in My Design Center, and I don't want the video to be too long. So today what I'm going to do is go over a basic overview of the icons that appear in My Design Center and what their purposes are. What is it that you do with these icons? That is your fundamental background that you need in order to understand how to use My Design Center and to move forward. And some of the icons that are in the My Design Center you will find also in the regular format when you're just stitching out t-shirts, caps, robes, towels, whatever it is that you normally do. So without further ado, let's get started and see what it is that My Design Center has to offer. So as you can see, we are in the Design Center now. I can go back out. This is your regular screen, first page screen, and if you hit My Design Center that's there, it takes you to this page. Cancel that. I hit that by mistake. And this is the page that we're going to talk about first. Now, let's start with this big area right here. This is called your pattern drawing area. And you're going to see most of whatever it is that you're doing in Design Center show up here. Now, up here, this is called your pattern viewing area. Now this is going to be a smaller depiction of what's here, where you'll be able to see things a little bit more clear, where you can actually zoom in and look at something specifically. And so then you're going to move up here where you see these 3 different scans. You have your image scan. Oh, I keep hitting it, sorry. Your image scan, your line design, and your illustration design. Now the first one is your scanning tools. You have a scanning tray that should have come with your machine, as well as 4 green magnets in your toolbox. You may have been wondering what those magnets are for. Well, they're for you to use on your scanning tray when you're actually scanning in designs. You can scan in a line design, which could be like a cartoon or a coloring book cartoon where everything is just a line and it's to be colored in. Or you can do an illustrative design, which is more full of whatever it is that you're scanning in. Like you could even scan in a piece of cloth so it can be used as part of your design. So that's what those are. Now over here that looks like a pocket, that is your excuse me, machine memory pocket. Every time you create a design or whatever, you can save it in this pocket. Now I know this little button home, you're very familiar with that because it's the same button that you see on that very first page, and it does exactly what it looks like. It takes you home back to your first page. So that's always going to be home. So now we go down further. So let's get to the magnification tools. As you can see, you got the plus and the minus and 100%. So whatever it is that you are designing, you can increase it or decrease it using those particular icons. And then on the next one, you have your selected image editing tools. This is over here. Now you notice everything is gray because I don't have a design in here. But hopefully you can see size, rotate, duplicate, and clipboard there. And you know exactly what that means. And then you have this block here. They separate it. You have your additional imaging tools over there. And you have an eraser. You have a cut. You have parallel. I think that's what that is. You have your looping, lasso. And I think this is has to do with grouping or ungrouping, but we'll go into, or I'll go into that more specifically in a minute. Now the next thing you have is excuse me, I'm sorry. The next thing you have, let's look down here where you see cancel. That cancels everything that you have. That's your navigation tool. You can move things around. You have clear all, you have go back, you have go forward, you have your memory, and you have next. And like I said, I'll go over all of that. And of course your regular icons down there. So now we're going over to this area here, and what we have over there, over here is your field property. And when I say field property, it is filling up your design where you can have colors. You can do a bucket of colors, you can draw colors, and you can do drops of color. And then if you hit this, this is your stitching. You can manipulate your stitches. And on here, page, you can go in here and see different parts of your design. So I'm going to go back out of here. And then we're going to go down to the bottom part. Now the bottom part is your field property tools, and the top part, I'm sorry, was your line property tool. So up here is your line property tool. This is your field tool, because this is where your bucket of paint and colors and all of that is, where you can change colors in your design. Here is more of the line changes that you can make in your design. So those are all of the icons on your very first page that you will see and be able to use for different projects and everything. And I will be doing a project as our lessons go forward, not in lesson 1, but it will be in lesson 2. Now let's go back and talk a little bit about these icons up here. Now, as I mentioned, this is your scanning tool. And you put, as I said, your fabric or your drawing on the scanning tray to display it in the background in order to create your design. So it's kind of like a copying machine where a scanner, if you have a copying machine that faxes and scans and copies and what have you, where you got the scanning component, and that's what the scan tray is, where you actually scan into the machine whatever design, whatever property, and it can be line, it can be illustrated. If you scan a line drawing to edit and convert to embroidery, you can also import a line drawing from your USB port or from the computer to create something. And this is your line design. So basically what they're saying, you can copy, which I've done, a cartoon. You put it on your tray and you do it through the line design because they're all lines. And your illustration design is a scan and illustration to create an embroidery design. And you can also import a color drawing image from your USB or your computer. So that would be, say for instance, your kid had colored that particular coloring page, and she's 2-3 years old, and you know how it looks, but it's their own creation and you're so proud of them. You can actually take that coloring page, put it on the scan tray, scan it in, and the illustrated design, if you hit that icon, it will work towards creating that or converting that into an embroidery design that you can actually stitch out for your kid. So all of these property up here is allowing you to take anything from the outside and put it in your machine via the USB port, via the scanning, or if you do wireless to your computer, you can do that. So that's very, very important. And again, like I said, you have your pocket here. That is your memory. So when you do your project, you need to make sure that you do save it in your pocket. Now when you get down here to your editing tools, like I mentioned, you have your eraser, you have your shape patterns. Here's the different size of your erasers. You can make it bigger, you can have it as a square, you can have it as a dot, you can go up, you can go down. So that's what the eraser is. And that's if you make a mistake and you want to change it. That's what that is. And like I was saying, for this particular one here, next to the eraser, you can select a stamp shape for the pattern. And there are a variety of standard shapes close to decorative size and open size. So there's your decorative shapes here that you can select. And we'll talk about these icons over here. But you have a square and octagon and diamonds and triangles and leaves and stars and what have you, flags and shields, all of that in your shapes. So this is the page that does that, and this is the icon that takes you there. And as you see, size and rotate is grayed out because there is no pattern there. And so this one here is flip. It flips your design horizontally. And what that means, say for instance you have scanned in a design where there is a face or something that is facing in one direction, say it's facing left, and you want it to face right. So you can do the flip horizontally, and the design, instead of facing left, you can switch it to facing right, and it still will look well and make sense. And like I said, you have your scissors, which is here, and that is, of course, you can cut out any part of your design that you don't want. And then you have your duplication here, and you have your paste in the selected section that you duplicated with the duplicated icon, or using the cut icon. That is what is, it's like, it looks like a clipboard. So you basically are clipping your design until you're ready to add it to whatever you did when you cut it out or you manipulated it in some way. And then you have select a pattern. So this is like looping or selecting, putting a square around whatever it is that you want to attach it to so you can move it. That is for your editing there. So that's what those are over there. So down here, as I mentioned, you have your navigation tools. That's what those are called. You navigate. You have your cancel. You have your clear all. So that will clear everything that you've already created. So you probably need to save it just in case you want to start all over again and not have to start from ground zero. If you put it in a little pocket, you can save it and start over with your saved design, even though you have cleared everything on this screen here, because maybe it's just all crazy and you can't fix it. You go back into here, get it out, and start all over again. And then we already know what an undo button looks like and what a redo button looks like. And then we also have the memory, store the pattern being created. And then the next icon takes you to the stitching screen. So that's next. That means you have created everything you want up here, and now you've done everything that you want to do with all of these, and then you can hit next. So that's what that button is. Wow, excuse me. I don't know what's going on with my throat. Okay, I'm back. Sorry for that. I was just getting very dry throat, I guess. So let's go over here, talk about the line property icons over here. So right here that looks like a little page of paper, this is your setting icon, which enables you to select the line type, stitch the select the line type, the stitch type, and the color as you wish. When you hit this, you're going to go to another page and you can select all of those things. So that's what that's for. So before you do that, let's talk about what everything else is. This particular icon that looks like a pencil with a little circle on it, the pencil tool enables you to draw on the screen, actually draw on the screen. And then you have a your icon, which changes the color of your selection. This is your paint bucket. So you hit that, you fill the entire design with that particular color that you selected. And then this last one here that looks like an eyedropper, you can pick the color and the stitch type from a line in the pattern within the pattern drawing area. So basically what they're saying is you don't have to fill the entire design like you would with the bucket. You can just put a drop of color in the place that you want it to be. So that's what that's for. And now we're going to go into the line property settings so we can see what's going on. We go into that page. Now we're talking about line property. We're talking about the pencil again. And the pencil, the very first one here is the freehand with open end. That's why the end doesn't close. That little thread doesn't close. Now the second one, of course, is a pencil. It's freehand, but it will automatically close the circle or the line that you made. It will make it basically into a circle, a square, or whatever. Then of course you have your straight line with one stroke, so that'll make that. And then of course you have your straight line that can change directions to the point you selected. If the end point is created near the start point, then a close, then it will close. It will start. So you also have your different stitches that you can select. You have you have your zigzag stitch right here. you have your running stitch here, you have your triple stitch here, then you have a candle wicking stitch here. Over here that looks like a diamond, that is your chain stitch here. This particular stitch right here is your E-stitch, or better known as blanket stitch. And you can see how it looks like a little E each one, but it is also called a blanket stitch, which is more popular. And then this one you have a V-stitch, which I'm not that familiar with. And then lastly, you have selected motifs that you can hit this and it's going to fly out and give you the opportunity to select different motifs that you want to stitch out. And you can see how many there are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You can stitch out a whole row of hearts and flowers and leaves and this pretty Greek chain and all of this. You can stitch that out. It reminds me of a regular my sewing machine, my SC 1900, which is also, it's an embroidery machine and a sewing machine, and because it is a sewing machine, it can do a lot of decorative stitches, which this basically is saying it does, a lot of decorative stitching. And then of course you have your color palette where you can select, and that's what fills the bucket on the other side here, which we're going to talk about now. Now this information that I'm sharing with you is located in the playbook for the PR1055X. If you have the playbook, then you can definitely go in there and look at all of the things that I'm explaining to you. So I'm going to go back to the page where we were, and actually I'm not going to that page. I am going to the regional property page. This is your line property page. So I got to hit OK, and then I go, I believe, in here. There you go. This is your regional property page. And what it does, it allows you to select the size of the brush stroke if you're going to do some type of decorative design and you're using the brush stroke. And you can increase the size here by hitting here. You see how the little red dot is getting bigger. Let me see how far it goes. Oh, it keeps going. I don't know how big it can get, but it gets big. And you can change it to a square, or you can change it back to a dot. And that's what it does. And then, of course, you can reduce it back down. So I think it was on 10. So that's typical on 10. Now, your next line are your fields. This one is your field stitch. You have your stippling stitch here, and I don't know if they, okay, and then you have your decorative field pattern here, and then this one is familiar to me, and it is the one that says no stitch at all. So if you don't want anything stitched in that particular area, then you can hit the no stitch at all, and you will not be able to, as you see, change colors or anything like that. So that is what that's for. So you, like I said, you have your field stitch, your stippling stitch, and then you have your decorative field stitch. And when this icon is selected, a sub menu appears. And then where is, let me see. Okay, here you go. I select this. This is your decorative field icon. And when you hit that, then this comes up and allows you to select several different beautiful field stitches that the machine can make. Now, usually you would equate that to quilting, but it does not necessarily have to be in a quilt. It can be beautiful on a pillow. It can actually be beautiful with your creation on a shirt or a jacket back or a towel or anything that you want to, because they're so pretty. I love these little rows here, and it's just beautiful. And I think it's 3 pages. So this is page 2, and you see all the different designs that are available here on page 2. And then you get to the last page, which is page, which is page 3. So you have 3 pages of the field stitch that you can pick from once you hit that there. And so this is the basic background or overview of what you can do starting out with your design center. And so I'm going to stop at this particular point and come back with lesson number 2, where we're actually going to put all of these, well, not all of the icons, but put the icons to use to make something really cute and show you exactly what we're talking about that it can do. So hopefully this has been helpful to you and you understand it. And for those that are new, that have not been into the design center, now hopefully you will go into your design center, look around, play with it, see, push the button, see what it will do, and who knows, maybe hoop something and see if you can stitch something out. And try your scanning tray. That's what I'm going to do on the next video. We're going to actually scan something in and see how we can stitch that out. So hope you're looking forward to lesson 2. I'm looking forward to providing it for you. So again, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for subscribing. If you have not, can you please subscribe and hit the like button? That is very important for this particular channel. I need a thumbs up. Where's my thumb? Can you see my thumbs? I need a thumb up, please. Like the video, share the video, hit the notification bell so you know when the other lessons come up. And don't forget that I have a live stream every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Please plan to join us. We have a lot of fun. We talk about some of everything that has to do with embroidery and crafting and other things that have nothing to do with that. If the topic happens to come up and everybody wants to participate, we're growing. We have a good camaraderie. I have people that are regular, and I would appreciate it if you just come in and join us. So I'm looking forward to chatting with new people, and I think that you will be happy for stopping in. And if you do happen to look at the live, can you at least come in and say hi, even if you don't want to participate in the chat? I do know there are quite a few people that don't participate in the chat that actually views it. I would love for you to just stop in and say hi. That's very important. But anyway, lesson 2 will be coming shortly. Thank you for watching, and I will talk to you later.